Every success story has a beginning, one filled with questions, challenges, sacrifices, and moments that shape a person's future. On this episode of the Archive podcast, we sit down with Dr. Nwabundo Queensley, who emerged as the overall best graduating medical student, MBBS, at the 56th induction ceremony. From the demands of medical school to the discipline required to excel, she shares the journey behind becoming the best graduating student, the lessons, the setbacks, the victories, and the mindsets that made it possible.
It's my job to take you through the untold stories, the behind the scenes of all the successful brands and individuals that you know. Join me as I make welcome today on this episode of the Archive, Dr. Queensley. Good day, ma'am. Good afternoon. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Dr. Queensley is the best graduating student for the 2018-2019 set. Yes, medical school. Let me clap for you. You're welcome once again, ma. All right, so let's get into the conversation. Have you always desired to become a medical doctor? Where did it all start from? What inspired you to say, okay, I want to do medicine? And how has the journey been from maybe from secondary school, from primary school till now? What were those experiences that made you say, this is what I want to do and I will pursue it, I'll chase it?
First, when I was really, I've always wanted to be a doctor. I think, that's a big thing what I only remember from science part. There are a number of science people in the future. The fact that, I'll end up caring for people. Yeah. I know when I entered Pascal Metro, I particularly told me what I lost once a ticket.
Yeah.
The whole lot of is a different goalkeeper for elder road for the most parts, and then entering senior secondary school, then biology or science is coming. Biology was inarguably my favorite course, my favorite subjects. I really didn't enjoy biology. Enjoyed health sciences, enjoyed learning about the human body, the human system. So I figured that medicine would be the most appropriate way to further that desire, further that human love that I had for biology and for the health sciences. And that's how I started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yours was smooth. Oh. Okay. A lot of persons, when they want to apply for medicine, there's always this fear they have how to cater for the needs and the demands of the medical school. Because you have to spend so much money, you have to put in. At some point, did you have any fear or doubt before entering, or maybe when you got the admission, how it things be?
Yes, I did. So for one, I don't have any personality as a doctor, as a medical doctor. So I didn't have any exposure for at that time. Only what maybe probably I saw in movies or read in stories, then casting I read. Yes, I read that. Then casting all these things. Those are the only things I had exposure to. So, the fact that when I gained that assurance, my father was little from work. Few months, every few weeks right before I saw my new letter service that I'll do that for look. So it's hard to figure how we're going to pay the acceptance fees, the school fees, the accommodation fee, all those girls. So yes, that doubts came at that point. And then when medical school actually started, there were fears that, there were a whole lot of people from different schools. It's very good academic records. They're very excellent on them. Yet they could academic records. They had the valedictorian in their various secondary schools. So it was very hard to see myself fitting into that kind of space. Yeah, at some place.
So basically that was your fear. Yeah, finance.
Yeah, finance too. The textbooks can be very expensive. Not they can be. They are very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. So that there was a concern there, but somehow, I had good relationship with some senior colleagues are reading, so they need their textbooks.
Okay.
Yeah, coupled with the fact that online e-versions, e-books were not really hard for us to use, so the year plus years takes time hard copy. So yeah, that was how I was able to manage it. That's
Wow. Okay. So, it is one thing for somebody to know how to read or be intelligent or smart. But for you to be disciplined and consistent over a long period of time, it takes a different character. Now, I want to know how you were able to keep up in med school. And like I said, I used to have a roommate. I always talk about that. In fact, that was why I went for his induction, because I did not believe this guy would finish this thing that he started in year one. So how did you keep up with the discipline of studying, reading, and not being distracted for all this year? It was 8 years, right?
yes, yes.
7, 8 years. How?
Okay. But I must say I had a very good foundation. Okay, foundation. When right from not secondary school, right from junior secondary school. Yes, my dad used to draft a timetable for because my sister and I used to study. So I had early exposure to using timetables and inconsistent digits,
Okay.
KK secondary school. Yes, so like senior secondary school was not really difficult. I would really transfer my own timetable myself and keeping up with it. Yes, so that helps me at least in year one. That's in year one. Yes, it was a different ball game. Oh my god, I deals at the point I did not know my left from my right. I don't know that's what I want to do because we were a few weeks away from our semester exams. We're using semester system then, and I did not. There would not be. I was able to pass. I would have passed the exam. The knowledge I had then. Yeah. So, but then for COVID-19 break came, I was able to do 1 or 2 things. Yeah. So that's foundation helps me. Also, the people that I had around me that God placed. I can't say it was me. That I could place around me at that point. They made the whole thing seem possible.
Okay.
Yes, people that you especially induction ceremonies, the main ceremony. So when you go for the induction ceremony, I see people that you've been through this thing for a long time and see that they actually arrived at the destination. So you see that it's very much possible. And it's very, motivated to just keep up playing.
Let me ask you, before you entered medical school, you love reading, right?
Yes, I am. I'm never going to lie. Yeah.
Oh God. So for somebody that finds it difficult to read, because I'm sure it works for you and there are methods that works for you, but it might not just work for every other person. So how did you discover the one that works for you? I know you've been reading from secondary school, obviously, but you said at a point you started switching to different methods that works for you. How were you able to discover the one that works for you, and how were you able to keep up with it? Yeah.
Okay. So in discovering the method that worked for me, I mentioned earlier how COVID-19 breaking out my syllabus. Yes. So in that period, I went on YouTube and researched an effective study report. I saw a lot of things. There are different channels. I can't remember their names honestly now, but there are different channels that said a number of things. Things like active recall, using repetition, planning, using to-do lists. Experiments where you want to combine different things, not just academic, doing academics and
I know that activities.
These things were able to keep me in check. There was a time for studying, a time for selling other pieces. Yeah, so that's how I was able to find my game. And when I applied those things, I found that they were working. My grades were improving. They were actually, going well, doing well. I was actually doing well that career. So it was encouraging. Then for someone that does not enjoy reading, yes, there was this method that I used that I found out during the COVID-19 break that it will help me because I know I enjoy reading, but it was not every time I was motivated to read.
Exactly.
Not every course that I enjoyed reading. Yes, it was definitely not every course I enjoyed reading. So in those moments, what helps more is this technique, Pomodoro technique.
Okay.
So the idea is you study for a particular period of time, then take in time 10 breaks in between. So the standard Pomodoro technique is study or focus for 25 minutes, then have your break for 5 minutes, then study again for 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
5 minutes, 25 minutes, back and forth till your study period has elapsed. Yes, but if you are motivated enough, you can extend to 1 hour. extend to
an hour, then take 5 minutes.
5 10 minutes break. Yes, then come back another hour. But if you are so exhausted, you can now go to 10 minutes, 30 minutes. That way, because the idea is not just to wait for when you have motivation to study for long hours. Consistency more. Take it from consistency is more important than the sudden surge of let me read, then study for 6 hours. That is when you are constantly doing something. Yeah, so this method helps me to consistently do something like this, or even on the days where I was really exhausted. Even days I'm not exhausted. I didn't just want to. So it's this technical to choose. So I should I was saying something every day.
True. A lot of persons just stay at the point of motivation. They only do this when they feel like doing it. But discipline is whether you feel like it or not, you keep pushing. But I want to know what kept you to keep pushing. Like, what was that thing that once you remember, anytime you feel like giving up, anytime you don't want to do again, but once you remember that thing, you just continue?
Yes. Then when I was in year 3, I'm a Christian. When I was in year 3, one of the things that God was teaching me was how every Christian student, every Christian, whatever it is that you're doing, there is a need for you to do it and do it excellently more. And excellence does not only mean that you be the best in your field. That's good. It's very much necessary. But
can you come again?
I feel excellence doesn't only mean that you are the very best in your field. That's good. Don't get me wrong. You should desire it. But it may not always happen that way. It's a bit as you are consistently showing up. You're consistently doing your other nights you're constantly putting on your best. Coupled with the fact that we have been given so much resources as Christians, we have access to wisdom, we have youth, we have friends around us, mentors who would have gone ahead of us that we can always look up to when we are feeling discouraged. So there's every reason to be excellent. There's every reason to not settle for mediocrity. Also, I also desire to be a proficient doctor. I not just want to, know just enough to make sure someone doesn't die. I wanted to really know enough to give the care that's the patient before me, the human before me, not just the case before me, but the human before me deserves.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that kept me going. Also, I was part of theory and being in some of our academic interns, you really reiterate these things. So as you keep listening to them, keep learning them, we are reminded every now and then that, you're supposed to be an excellent student. You should not just settle for less. Yeah, so that works.
So anytime you feel like giving up, you just remember that you don't just want to have excellent grades.
Yeah, I just want to graduate. Like, I just want to, get it here fast.
But if you just graduate and you're done with induction, is that not enough?
It's not enough for me. I don't think it is enough.
So you needed to be more proficient.
Yes, proficiency. That is how you display the excellence of Jesus. That's really how it is.
I was supposed to come to the points, maybe stories of the points you felt like giving up. But then you mentioned you were part of CMDA. Sorry. If there's one regret I have in my undergraduate level, and I would always tell anybody I see, I'll tell you to engage in social activities. I did not do any social activity. Like, I was just a student. I go to school, attend my lectures, come back. Both departmental course rep or all those things, I was not interested. In fact, I did not even have friends, and I still regret it today that I did not link up with people. Now, how many of my classmates do I have that I still speak with? My, what they call the tribal community, I was not part of any. SUG, I was not part of any. That's like one of the advantages in the system, I believe, that every student should utilize. So how are you able to manage those external activities and being in the medical school with all the workload you have?
One thing that I learned, at least from people that my mentors that I was speaking with, that even if you want to do social activities, know every social activity that you have to do. You should know the ones that will be of benefit to you, the ones that will be of benefit to where you want to go to, where you want to be, before you just invest your time and the space, your energy into those things. Yes, it's very important that you socialize, It's very important that you network. But it's not just every conference that you have to be there. It's not just every program or every activity that you have to be. First, you have to know, what exactly you have to want to become, the kind of person you want to be, the kind of space or the kind of people you want to be associated with. Put that one first. That will now to guide your decision of, okay, should I join this association? Should I be part of this? Should I be part of that? Should I commit in space? Should I commit activity? So that's you get. So yes, socialize by every means, but don't be everywhere. You don't have to be everywhere. There's a particular path marker for you. You just have to find out what that means and be taking small steps to arrive at that.
Did you serve as a leader in any of this?
Yeah, I served as a leader at the same day.
And if I know well, serving as a leader demands responsibility, a level of responsibility.
Yes, it does.
So how did you keep up with the responsibility? You have meetings and you need to attend to something in medical school. How do you keep up with that? Was there no time it clashed? And maybe a time you just wanted to drop your file and tell them you're not doing again?
Yes. Yes, it can clash. It can be very, very exhausting. It can be very intense.
How were you able to manage it?
Manageable combine. Well, again, one thing my mentors taught me is that there's a time for everything.
Okay.
There is a time for everything. There's a time to study. There's a time to serve. There's a time to engage with other activities. There is a time for everything. That's like the foundation. Once you understand that, it's be able to help you know where to invest your time in something. There are some seasons that your academics is of greater importance. No, every season is like that. But there are some seasons that you have to invest more time in your academics because there are more responsibilities in that area than in other places. There are some seasons that you have to give more time to your wherever it is you are serving because of the circumstances reading in a particular time. Yeah. So understanding these seasons and managing your time properly in that, because I think one thing that is a problem for most of us is that we don't have marked out times for things. So when it's time for us to study, we are doing every other thing. When it's time for us to do those things, we are doing. We don't have a particular time for those things. But if you have a particular time for them, when you are committing your time to serve, you know that okay, yes, I'm doing it because this is the time for it. I've already marked out the time for my studying sometime later. So this thing I'm doing is not going to affect my studying.
Yeah.
Do you get? So having that understanding is going to help a lot of us. Trust me. You will know that you're not just wasting your time doing certain things. Yes, I'm giving my time to this because I decided to do my time.
Yes.
I've already decided that my study time has already been set apart and it's not affecting this.
So if anything comes from the other one that is not the time.
It's not the time for it. You can easily delegate. You can easily find someone else to do it. If you don't have to be there, you can easily find someone else to do it.
Okay. But do you know that you can delegate or you can map out time? Then there's this thing called distraction, because I want us to talk about distraction a bit. How did you deal with distraction? Maybe you don't look like somebody that gets easily distracted. No, I don't know, but there are persons that are easily distracted, maybe by their phones, social media, friends, other activities. How do you now manage distractions? Because distractions will definitely come. There are times that you want to do something just comes up, and before you know, it's not like that thing is not important too. It's also important, but you already mapped out this time for this. So how did you manage distractions, even while you were mapping out time?
Yeah, when I was mapping out time, I also set out time to settle the things that require me to be online.
Okay.
So let me explain. There was a time that I had to delete most social media apps. I don't know how you think that I'm not distracted. I was very distracted with Instagram.
Okay.
That endless scrolling through reels. This was a big
progress, my friend. We'll read from 2 to 5. Progress will be reading from 2 to 5. Some of us will sleep, will play music, but progress will still be reading.
People are like that.
Yeah, that's why I said most of
Yes, but Instagram was a project for me. I had to delete. There are several other apps that had. There was a time I wanted to delete WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is your What I had to do was to restrict the number of hours I spent. There's this setting that we have in our phones, focus mode.
Yes. Restricts the apps.
Yeah, so you can use that. There are many other apps that you can use to block certain apps for a particular period of time. So yeah, so that's how I was able to manage distractions. Then the other distractions that are not phones. Well, the main thing that I used was knowing that there's a time for everything. Honestly, there's no other way to go about it without having discipline enough that there's a time for everything. When it's time for you to have a conversation with your friends, catch up, and all that, you can do that. In fact, you should schedule a time for it because it's very important. It's part of your social space and social environment. But it should not interfere with the time you schedule for studying. It should
I feel one of
enough discipline to leave that aside.
yeah. I feel one of the problem is understanding. I'm key on understanding. Before I do something, if you see me do something, I have an understanding about it. So before I even scold somebody or correct somebody or try to make somebody change a particular attitude, I try to make the person understand why you are doing it. And that's one thing that helps me when it comes to distraction. If I understand why I'm doing this at this particular time, I can stick with it.
Yeah.
Because that understanding somehow powers the way I act. Yeah, true. Because distraction is very powerful. I tell you, you can still be doing something seriously on your phone, and another thing pops up, and before you know, the next 1 hour you are
Gone.
So it's very, very, very powerful.
Yeah, very powerful.
You kept mentioning mentors, senior colleagues, people that's gone before you, ahead of you. I want to know the place of mentors, the place of mentorship, the place of training. Because I feel this generation, in fact, our generation, we have left the place of mentorship. We just want to do things on our own. When it comes to academics, when it comes to business, when it comes to our normal life endeavors, we just want to run by ourselves. We have forgotten that there are persons yes, and it will be easy because there are mistakes. They can tell you, don't go through this route. I made mistake here and all of that. So what was the place of mentorship and training for you in your process and your journey?
Yeah. Mentorship played a huge role. I didn't have one. I didn't have two. I had about 3, 4 mentors, like main people. There's another food that I used to ask questions just in a while. Yes. When in my early days of medical school, I was trying to make it for myself. I felt that that's how you can prove that you are you're an effective person. But I didn't know I found out that every successful person that you know, or whatever field, they have a number of people, a number of mentors that you talk to, yes, to guide them. Because if you ask questions, proper questions, you'll be able to avoid a lot of things. You have to save yourself time.
Yeah.
Meant to save yourself a whole lot of time. Some people wonder how you're able to carry so many responsibilities at the point. It's because you ask questions and you're able to prevent or not do certain things that will be a waste of time to you. You've asked proper questions. You know, okay, the activities should invest your time in the things that you really will really not be of use to you at any point because you met certain people and ask these rules questions. So I don't know how you want to do medical school or anything at all. That mentorship very much important.
Was there time where mentorship felt stressful?
Like meeting people.
Like the instructions that come from your mentors felt stressful and you just don't want to. How did you manage it?
I found out for myself that there was a particular thing one of my mentors told me to do something where I was in year 4. But I don't want to say so that it's not that person no know. But I know
You did not do it.
I said, what's the power is more friends? The time that was supposed to do the lapse age, I started feeling that I really would have done that in that time. It would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of energy. Thank God I did not feel that course at the end of the day, but still, it would have saved me a lot of time if I had invested a lot of headache, knowing, how will I now figure out, how would I now, it would have saved me all that. So, mentorship is very much important. After that, I learned that there was no way I could, make progress, start listening to what they're saying.
There are a lot of mistakes you will not make under mentorship. Sure. Okay, on your induction day, I know a lot of persons were clapping, happy, celebrating your success. But I'm sure that a lot of them don't know that there were times that you felt like you're not doing again. You've had it here and you're not doing again. So I know our viewers want to hear. Can you share with us 1 or 2 stories that happened and you almost gave up?
Okay. Well, I'll start with the most recent one.
Okay.
That happened some point last year. So I had a responsibility last year that was very demanding. And the result of activities that I would be required to do in that space of time and it was stealing on my academics. I wasn't giving as much as I wanted to
Okay.
in my exam period. So when the whole thing was over, I found that I had so many lapses, so many academic classes, so many things that I had to do. And so that's as if there was not enough time to do it. So you see, anytime I want to read, anytime I want to start reading, I'll just give up because where do I want to start from? You get it was really heartbreaking.
You cry.
Yes. Yes, I did. No, it was not funny. Like I can say it now because the phase has passed and it's over. But it was really not funny.
Like when you open your movie, just cry. Cry.
Like I'll be resting there. I'll be like, what's even this? I'm not making any progress. The things I'm reading, as if I'm forgetting them. Things like why am I doing this? And then there's still more things that was required of me that period. So I spoke with the mentor. Yes, mentor. I spoke with the mentor about it. Like throughout we talked for about 20 to 30 minutes, and I was crying all around. Yeah, but she was able to give me clarity. Was able to let me know exactly what I was supposed to do. She be directing me to practical ways practical ways to go about it. Yes, practical ways to go about it, and how to rest, like how to really rest, not just um, not just going up doing many other activities and not finding it takes a time to process things.
I'm one person that believes that education is not a scam. The curriculum, the system might have some issues or defaults or problems, but it's not a scam. And that's why I still advise people to take advantage of. There are still other things you can take advantage of in the system. You mentioned one, social groups, exposure. There are a lot of things that if I did not pass through school, I'm not sure I would handle those matters the way I am currently. But it's because I passed through school. I learned so many lessons in school. I learned so many, apart from the classroom, the lecture. How many lectures? But then outside the lecture, you interface with people, you relate with people, you learn relational skills. In fact, there are a lot of persons that are doing politics now at a higher level, and it's as a result of their journey in school. Yes, journey in school. So
Leadership.
there are a lot of advantage. I don't want to mention names. Even in your field, there are a lot of persons that served in different capacities, and it's like an advantage. Once you bring your CV that you served in this so and so place while you were in school, somehow you are just accepted. So that, but education is not a scam.
You cannot compare. Quite honestly, you cannot compare your thinking process, your physical thinking,
Yeah,
an undergraduate, as a graduate rather, compared to somebody that
that's
have the experience.
sure. Sure. It has been inspiring. It has really been inspiring, and it's possible.
It's very much
It's
possible.
possible.
Very possible.
Not just in the medical field, in academics generally, you can achieve such level of excellence doing it the right way.
Yeah, you don't have to have any extraordinary. Trust me, you don't have to have any extraordinary skills. Or when I mean extraordinary, you don't have to have some sort of
Superpower.
Just you are formed and created in a particular way. No one works for you and stipulates, and you still are it. Just be.
One last word for them.
Well, I would say that as much as the results is very much important, the end goal of being a graduate, being a good person, whatever is your end goal is very much important. What will stay with you even after that is the experience that you gained,
Yeah.
people you met, the challenges you're able to overcome, and the skills you learned, the life skills you learned while overcoming the challenge,
Yeah.
the lessons that you learned while overcoming the challenge. So just, be at moments, have those estimates, it's learn as much as you can, take it one day at a time. Don't just, yes, desire the end, but enjoy the process more. Do your best and enjoy the process.
Amazing. Desire the end, but enjoy the process. Our viewers, thank you for joining us. I'm sure you had an awesome time watching to this point. If you don't want us to end, and after now you will not see the archive, please do the needful. You know the needful. That subscribe button, subscribe, follow, share, so our other young persons can be inspired by these stories. I love you and I'm rooting for you always. I'm your biggest fan. If nobody believes in you, I believe in you. So anytime, any day. See you next time on our next episode on the archive.